Hey Balloon family, it's great to see you again. I have a fun little twist for you today. We have this cute unicorn, which you perhaps have seen before. If you haven't, I'm going to link the video for you. But we're going to do a fun twist on that and create this really sweet dinosaur balloon. I am really excited to show you this one because I love how it is just two balloons. Would you believe it? Probably, especially if you know the unicorn design, but I'm going to show you step by step how to make this cute dino roar. Like dinosaur. But there's also some really cute variations. I'm not going to show them in this video, but let me know in a comment below if you'd like to see them. But we can go a little bit further with the design and come up with this classic cutie, or even a fun little wrist friend. The choice is yours of what you'd like to create using this basic dinosaur design. I'm sure you'll come up with some beautiful ideas. But that being said, let's get twisting. For this tutorial, I'm using the green BWS heart, and I've got a green balloon from Calisan range as well. So when we blow up our heart, it's super important that we don't overinflate it. We want to have it a little bit soft for the twist we're going to do to it. Not as soft as the unicorn, if you know, you know. However, when you tie the knot, the other really important thing is a little bit of a loose knot first, and then we're going to drag on that knot, pulling it towards the nozzle end of the balloon to give us a little bit of playroom here. Because this playroom, after we give it a squish and a twist, becomes the dinosaur's body. Now we need to do one more twist in this balloon. Now I will say, if you struggle with getting an extra twist in here, do not use the neck of the balloon to create the pinch twist, but you'll use the 260 itself to do that. So we're aiming to pinch twist this bubble here in the middle. We don't want it too big, and I guess not too small, but like Goldilocks would say, just right. And what does just right mean? It is about an inch, maybe a little bit less wide. I'm going to go ahead to pull this out and twist at the same time to create a pinch twist. And then we're left with something that looks a bit like this. So now taking our 260, a quick tip, when you've got your electric inflator, pinch off the amount of balloon that you'd like to leave uninflated before going ahead to start the inflation. And as soon as the air bubble reaches your fingers, then you know it's time to stop. That can help get you some really consistent sizing with how much balloon tail uninflated you need. So I've left about 20 centimeters or 8 inches uninflated, and before I tie off this end, I'm actually going to judge what about the same distance is over here. Let it go. So it does give us quite a long nozzle, but what we're aiming to do is use the entirety of this balloon, and it doesn't need too much length. So you might want to play around to get it just right, and you can always remove any excess nozzle as you complete your design. Where did you run away to? Here we go. Let out just a little puff of air to help soften it, especially with a Calisan, they're very tough. Just going to go ahead to tie it directly onto the nozzle end of our heart. Now we've got something that looks like this. Alright, so again, the Calisan balloon is quite tough. I'm going to give it a bit of a squish before I start working with it to help reduce the potential of pops. If this is getting in your way right now, that's where I'd remove it. We don't need it again. These will do. I haven't been removing it, but if the nozzle bothers you, I say go ahead. We're going to make a small pinch twist here, about as long as it is wide. Think of similar to what we've done here. We're going to bring the legs in, back leg, front leg, back leg. And aesthetically, I think it looks a little nice if we make the front legs just a little bit longer than the back. Coming through our pinch twist at the neck. And if you didn't already have a pinch twist here, this is where you should add it. I like to create it so my legs are together. So after I've twisted off the second front leg, just going to take the tail end and thread it through. Until our working end comes back through the other side, and now the tail. Now at this point we're going really well, but we are going to do 2 rows of spines and the remainder will be the tail. So as we complete this next series of bubbles, we're going to do a 2.5 finger bubble, an inch bubble, and another or a third to try and match the first I've got here. So this one in the middle is going to get a pinch twist very soon. But for now, I'm just going to take the working end of the balloon, sweep it under and around the neck area, and then repeat that chain of 3 on the other side. As I'm going, I'm giving the balloon another little bit of a squish to help encourage the air towards the tail end. And now, our final twist to lock this all in place is into the pinch twist at the back. Now, notice how there's still quite a bit of uninflated tail. What you can do to help get the air right to the end, just just keep twisting, squishing the air towards the end. We'll just be using up the latex a little bit more. It's also a great opportunity to do a little bit of shaping in the tail. If you didn't quite catch what I did there, there's bending the balloon into an S shape, squishing the air backwards and forwards to give it that little wave. So adorable. But I'm just going to finish off the tail end, pressing it gently into the back legs. It's looking so cute. Okay, let's keep going. Remember these bubbles here? We're going to go ahead to pinch twist them. Why? Because I think aesthetically it looks a bit nicer and brings everything in a bit more compact, which I think is really nice. But if you don't like pinch twisting, I also think that looks really nice. So why not put your own little twist on it at this point? But to finish off these pinch twists, I'm going to pull the bubbles out and twist them around. One, and 2. I like to give it a little bit of a wiggle and a push to meet a little bit more in the middle of the back, but it's up to you as to what you think looks good. So our cutie is complete with all its twists, except it needs a little bit of artwork. So let's get drawing. So my staples that I would use when I'm drawing is, I've got this wonderful Pentel Maxiflow marker. I talk about it a lot, I rave about it perhaps, but they're getting harder and harder to find. So grab your favorite black bullet point marker or Sharpie. I like to add a little color, and that's where I bring my Sharpies into things. And I've found the best paint marker for me is a Posca paint marker. If you have not tried it before, I encourage you to do so. I live in a place that's really hot and dry most of the year, and humid, yeah. And I found out of all markers or paint markers, this is what works best for me. And I got onto it thanks to Holly the Twister Sister. So shout out to Holly. But let's get on to that artwork. So it's up to you how you'd like to draw your dino face, but I'm going to show you my favorite. And we're going to do an eye on either side of the head. So with my shapes, I tend to go for a bit more of an egg shape with a flattened bottom. If you've seen me do eyes before, it's very much like that. I think it offers a really cute shape. But then I'd like to take my marker and we're going to draw a curve for the back of the eye. Sometimes I do it better than others, and typically I find it really challenging to mirror it on both sides, but that's fine. At least they're on opposite sides of the head and people aren't going to see them at the same time. But to repeat that, pretty key. And we're going to do the eyelash. So something a little bit like this. Oh, it's looking adorable if I do say so myself. We're going to go on to add the facial features, so a couple of nostrils and a big grin. Just like to do something really simple in terms of nostrils. I find that because around the lobes of the latex, they're not fully inflated, so the marker can have trouble getting into doing a little bit finer detail. So keeping a little bit more simple around the lobe area is going to be more successful. And then for our smile, it's going to be like a curly or curvy W, something like this. And just a couple of lines on each side to suggest a huge grin. So that's it for now for the black marker. Oh, I nearly forgot. I love to add eyebrows. Do dinos have eyebrows? I don't know. They probably had some protrusion there. Go ahead to add them in. This is where you can add your creative flair. Next, I'm going to take my green Sharpie that fell on the floor. But here we're going to add a little bit more marker art. So this is kind of optional, especially if you're in a hurry. You maybe want to skip this step. But I'm just adding some shapes to the top. Kind of like splotches, scales, just a bit of a suggestion of pattern and fun on your design. So typically I'd go somewhere like the head. You can be almost like cheeks if you put it to the side, which is super duper cute. Also, often my signature is to add some kind of love heart into it, because why not? It add a little bit of whimsy and fun to something that's already super cute. But that is about as much as I would typically go for. And oh no, my holy grail. Oh no, let me find my paint marker. Oh, I'm sitting on it. Oh, and that's where my scissors went. I hope I did not harm my chair or my pants. Let's keep going. This white paint marker, once you're happy that the black is dry, we're going to go in to add a little bit of shine. So typically I do a nice round circle of light, a line that follows the curve of the eye shape, and also a sweet little heart can really make the design pop. Oh my goodness, I am in dino love. I think this is my favorite I've done, and I think a large part of that is because just of how dang cute that tail looks. Let me show you the two side by side. So this is the one from the beginning of the video. He has much less of a, he's got lots of hair on him. He's got much less of a bend in the tail, but it's still adorable. And I was far closer to reaching the end of the balloon than I was on this particular occasion. Oh hair, oh my gosh. But that gave me a wonderful opportunity to give a little bit of a twist in there. But remember to use up any loose latex in this area, twist it around a few more times around the pinch twist. Or if you're finding consistently you're achieving a result like that, pinch these pinch twists at the time of creating the 3 chain of bubbles, because that will also help to use up a little bit more of that uninflated latex as you go. So there is the cute dinosaur. Let's have a look at its friends again. So a cute variation here. He has different coloured spines on the back. I don't know that I could get all of this out of one balloon. Maybe you could, I just didn't try. But I encourage you to have a bit of fun and see if you can come up with any other variations. Like this baby triceratops as well. I tried to make it with some balloon horns, but it wasn't really successful. That's why I think a little bit of mark art can really sometimes make a big point of difference if we can't recreate that part of our intended design with balloons. So that is it for how to twist the sweet balloon dinosaur. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I had a lot of fun. I wanted to use that unicorn design and see what other critters I could make. So I might play around and have another bit of a go. I almost see a dragon. We need to play a bit more with the wings here. If you do a dragon version, I'd love to see. If you haven't already, why not join my balloon family by hitting that subscribe button below? But also you can come and join me over on Facebook in my group, a Rainbow Balloons Learning and Resource Centre. I'll make sure to include the link below. And I would love to have you join me there, as well as find out first when a new tutorial is live. And you're welcome to ask questions or just interact in a really fun way. But I always love to hear from you, and why not also drop a comment below. Let me know if you want to see any more of these variations taught in a YouTube video, because I would love to share that with you. But otherwise, as always, thank you for helping me to put a positive twist into your life, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye. With this tutorial, I'm using the BWS balloon in with the... So for this tutorial, I'm 8 inches of uninflated. It is inflated. I mean, back